My name is Siddhartha Mitra, and my question is a bit philosophical one. I know there's a lot of practical things. So you mentioned about Kant and that initial meditation. My question is this: so Kant talks about the numenon, the thing in itself,
Yes.
as opposed to phenomenon in what sort of we perceive. And there's this idea of nirguna, like the consciousness. So is it the same thing? And do we have to even with the meditation, reach that awareness of that consciousness through the phenomenon, like, or can we just, or is it something that, how can we reach consciousness that pure, like nirguna? Do we need that support of the phenomenon?
Yeah. Kant, again, broadly speaking, because all of what I say is I'm not a Kant scholar. And I know Kant scholars who have spent decades studying Kant in the original German. They can actually, spew the original German of Kant's writing. So whatever I say might be entirely wrong. But the general idea I get is, according to Kant, you cannot reach the thing in itself, the noumenon. So he has got it right from the Advaitic perspective, but then he stops there and he says phenomena are all we can know, and the noumenon is unreachable. The noumenon is there in the objective world and in ourselves also, but it's unreachable by us. You cannot know it. That's where spirituality starts. Advaita Vedanta starts there. And in fact, not just Advaita Vedanta, in one sense, all the mystical traditions of the world start there. They say, yes, it can be known. Now, in the Advaitic framework, what gives you the confidence it can be known? Because, first, most important, that noumenon you are. If it's an unknown thing which you are not, then to know it, you need some way of knowing it. And all the ways are phenomenal. And so the noumenon is beyond the phenomenal. Therefore, there's a logical contradiction in saying that the phenomenon will take you to the noumenon. No, it won't. But if you are that noumenon, according to Advaita Vedanta central teaching, Tattvamasi, you are that. If you are that noumenon, number one. Second, that noumenon is self-luminous. That shining, everything else shines. This is Upanishads. By its light, everything here is lit up. You shining, everything else shines. By your light, everything is lit up. So in a certain way, quote unquote, you can know yourself. Not as an object, not through phenomena, but Sri Ramakrishna put it, his Bengali, bodhe bodh kara. The closest you get is awareness, being aware of awareness, in awareness. This is the closest. What makes it possible philosophically? The fact that you are that, first of all, and it's a luminous you, self revealing. Doesn't need a phenomenon to reveal it. Now, all sadhana, I'm adding footnote, all sadhana, all spiritual practices, including our Vedanta, they all depend on the phenomena. And you need it. Why do you need it? If the phenomena cannot reach the noumenon is forever beyond the phenomenon, then what can anything do based on the phenomenon do? Just prima facie. Vedanta is very interesting. Vedanta says you are right. Therefore, all spiritual practice has only a negative purpose. It will not get you to the reality. You are the reality itself. You don't need to reach yourself. But what it can do is it can remove the obstructions at the phenomenal level. So phenomenal practices can remove obstructions at the phenomenal level. The noumenon is self-revealed. It's like the sun shining. There's a patch of cloud which obscures the sun. Tiny patch of cloud. And the sun is vast, vaster than the world itself, the earth itself. But a tiny patch of cloud can obscure it for us. A gust of wind comes and removes the cloud. The entire thing took place in the atmosphere. A gust of wind and the cloud. It has nothing to do with the sun. But because of this action, the sun is now clear, shining forth. That's an example. Here in place of the sun, you are that. Yeah. So all activity takes place at the phenomenal level, but it helps to reveal the new. If the phenomenal problem obscured the noumenon, then the phenomenal solution will reveal the noumenon. Obscuration and revelation both are level of phenomenon, not at the level of noumenon. Nearly 2000 years ago, a master philosopher and logician who was traditionally entirely our ancient enemy, Nagarjuna, the master of emptiness, Shunyavada, in his root verses of the middle way, Mula Madhyamaka Karika, he has this thing that the Buddha has taught two kinds of truths, and the relative truth and the ultimate truth. He says Samritti Satyam, Paramartha Satyam. And then he says Samritti Manashritya Paramartham Nadigamyate. Without taking refuge in the relative truths, one never attains to the ultimate truth. In Kant's terms, phenomenal to numenon. In Advaitic terms, Vyavaharika to Paramarthika.